Greg Evigan, star of BJ and the Bear, joins Tony Tenniel at 4.
Now, for your headache, a brand new extra-strength pain reliever. Unsurpassed strength with the 2 most powerful pain relievers you can buy. And a 3rd ingredient that may make them work even harder. Announcing new extra-strength Excedrin capsules. Nothing you can buy is stronger or works harder. In capsules or new tablets, new extra-strength Excedrin. Headache relief that goes as far as it can go.
Ray-o-vac and Coleco announce a $10 savings now through November 15th. Buy any of these Coleco electronic games, head-to-head sports, electronic quarterback, quiz whiz, electronic learning machine, and buy 2 packages of long-lasting Ray-o-vac alkaline batteries. We'll send you a check for $5 cash, plus $5 in refund certificates redeemable on Ray-o-vac alkaline batteries. A $10 savings. Get details at your nearest store and save $10 big dollars now.
Flying our way. Who else in this world would dare stretch his wings just to have a little fun?
Here's to you, you're the fun, you're the laughter, the whole world's after. You know how good life can be, and you've tasted it in a gold RC. So here's to you and me and my RC. Here's to fun, you know a good time when you taste one.
The boys and girls of Sigma Phi invite you aboard this special train for a most unusual costume party. There'll be dancing and romance, magic and murder. Experience the most terrifying ride of your life, if you dare. Terror Train from 20th Century Fox, rated R.
Starts Friday at a selected theater near you.
Tell me what my lips say to you. Soft.
Soft.
Wet.
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 What?
Whipped. Moisture Whip, my lipstick. Whipped with moisturizers to help keep my lips very soft. So whipped up, I call them my whipsticks. And I love them.
And I love your lips. Moisture Whip Whipstick with protective sunscreen. Lipstick by another name is not Whipstick by Maybelline.
On Real People, meet a paralyzed cowboy on the run from the law. And holy smoke, these monks are firemen. Then, enter the world of high fashion. And murder. Eyes of Laura Mars, a TV premiere. She sees death through the eyes of a killer.
These are police photographs. They were never published anywhere at all. So my question is very simple.
Why are my photographs so much like yours?
Faye Dunaway is the witness. Will she become the victim? Real People, then Eyes of Laura Mars, Wednesday.
The legendary Jeep CJ. You always knew it could take you here in style. But did you ever think it could take you here in style? Or that it could give you the luxury and comfort of soft bucket seats, room for 4, air conditioning, stereo? And did you know that Jeep CJ has the highest gas mileage of any four-wheeler built in America? 1981 Jeep CJ. Now you know why the legend lives on. From Jeep Corporation of American Motors.
Can't breathe.
You didn't take your Contac, did you?
No.
And you were going to work today. That's my man. Keep going.
Charge.
You choose. Label says take this, but only when you stay home. Take this, and you'll need 6 for just today.
6?
Or take this one little Contac.
That settles it. But what's this improved?
That's good. Means you'll get all their decongestant without their pain and cough things.
I'll phone you from the office.
Contac is the keep-you-going cold medicine.
Hello.
We'll return with all commercials after these messages.
On Chips, a freeway pile-up, can Ponch and John save 2 beautiful girls trapped in the wreckage? Then Burt Reynolds and Sally Field, the team from Smokey and the Bandit, in the end. He's a swinger gone bananas. And he's out to make the whole world nuts, too. The end. A night of action and laughs Sunday on NBC.
So fierce and musings as the ace and the hole. Just your ordinary rhythm and blues, your basic rock and roll. You can sit on top of the beat, you can.
You have wanted to be Elvis Presley since you're 13 years old.
I care about our marriage breaking up. Left Maddie and me.
Paul Simon and Blair Brown. One Trick Pony. A film from Warner Brothers. Rated R.
Starts Friday, October 3rd at the UA Gemini and at selected area theaters.
Ronald Reagan stumps New York, the story at 11.
A tour of the Commercial Hall of Fame next with Steve Martin.
I live in Japan, but the same love stories that touch your heart touch mine. Harlequin, tender stories about romantic people in exciting places. All women share special feelings about love, and Harlequin understands.
Harlequin Romances. Harlequin presents the world's most popular love stories because Harlequin understands how you feel about love.
Dial, do your stuff.
You get that clean, fresh, confident feeling all day long with Dial. Aren't you glad? That clean, fresh, confident feeling all day long with Dial. Aren't you glad?
You'll be glad Dial's active deodorant ingredient keeps working all day long.
That clean, fresh, confident feeling all day long with Dial.
Oh, what kind of station wagon is that?
A Volkswagen Dasher.
That Dasher's a nice-looking wagon.
It's a diesel wagon.
Oh, it must get good mileage.
It gets better mileage than any other wagon. In fact, it gets better mileage than most cars.
No kidding.
Costs next to nothing to run.
Gee, well, what are you buying with all the money you're saving?
Food.
Volkswagen Does it again.
Thursday on Games People Play, crunching cabbies, fast-talking DJs, and hold on to your fins at the first Shark Rodeo. Then it's bumper-to-bumper laughs in the Great American Traffic Jam with Ed McMahon, Desi Arnaz Jr., Lyle Wagner, Vic Taybeck, Lisa Hartman, Noah Berry, James Gregory, Rue McClanahan, Abe Pagoda, John Beck, Shelley Fabre, and Howard Hessman as the DJ.
I love it.
A world premiere, the Great American Traffic Jam, a night of action and comedy Thursday on NBC.
This is a man whose time has come, a strong leader with a proven record. In 1966, answering the call of his party, Ronald Reagan was elected governor of California. Next to president, the biggest job in the nation. What the new governor inherited was a state of crisis. California was faced with a $194 million deficit and was spending $1 million a day more than it was taking in. The state was on the brink of bankruptcy. Governor Reagan became the greatest tax reformer in the state's history. When Governor Reagan left office, the $194 million deficit had been transformed into a $550 million surplus. The San Francisco Chronicle said, Governor Reagan has saved the state from bankruptcy. The time is now for strong leadership. Reagan for president.
This is God speaking. Yeah, God. You caught me in a real good mood. I just finished a new movie called Oh God, Book 2, starring George Burns. That's right, I made another movie. And it'll have just as many laughs as the first one. See, if you didn't see the first one, I'm giving you all a second chance. Don't blow it.
Oh God, Book 2, from Warner Brothers, rated PG. Opens October 3rd. Check newspaper for local listing.
Ms. MacArthur, I'm going to convince you that one pain reliever is different from all these others.
Come on, that's what commercials always say.
Okay, watch. 2 regular tablets, 650 milligrams. These other pain relievers also, 650 milligrams. 650 milligrams. Still think there's no difference?
Of course.
Look, 800 milligrams.
Anacin. Anacin has more pain reliever.
More pain reliever and a special combination of ingredients.
I'm gonna try Anacin.
Get the Anacin difference.
Friday, the exclusive look at the mystery surrounding the Kennedy assassination continues. Jim Garrison speaks up.
Lee Harvey Oswald killed no one at all.
On NBC Magazine with David Brinkley, an astonishing report on why some parents kidnap their own children and how the Russians are stealing our electronic secrets. Friday.
She was seduced by the untamed West and by a man who would shatter all her dreams.
The only way you can hurt me is to shut me out.
Lynn Redgrave in Centennial, Saturday.
Good night, everybody, and thanks for watching all commercials. Say good night, and now we're going to wave until all the credits have rolled by. I have to wave until all the credits have gone by.
Leslie Ann Warren and Michael Sarrazin star in Beulah Land, a world premiere October 7th.
Coming up next on News 4 New York, the American presence widens in the Persian Gulf as the war rages on, and Reagan stumps New York.
How well are Puerto Ricans doing in this country? We'll have a report, and we'll show you what kind of a party our own Liz Smith throws.
This is more, straight ahead.
It grows on you.
Imagine what it's like to be a normal human being trapped inside a hideous body, when each face you see is horrified by your appearance, when all you've ever known is pain and ridicule and loneliness. The Elephant Man, a story of courage and human dignity. The Elephant Man, the film, rated PG.
Starts Friday at Reed's Coronet, also on Long Island in New Jersey and Connecticut.
Taking life slow, taking the time to make rice that is oh so fine.
Folks used to see Indians on this river.
Indians?
Bringing wild rice down from the lakes.
Wild rice, like Uncle Ben's.
Yep. Uncle Ben selects special wild rice and mixes its nutty taste with their long-grain white rice plus 23 seasonings. Nothing makes a meal special like Uncle Ben's original long-grain and wild rice.
Uncle Ben's takes the time to make rice right.
I don't know where I got this reputation for being a hard nose. I get along with everybody. In my latest movie, Coast to Coast, I got along with Diane Cannon. I got along with the director. I got along with the lady who wrote the movie. And if I did have any problems, I just drove over to the producer's house, and we ironed everything out. So go see Coast to Coast with Diane Cannon and me, a real sweet guy. It's rated PG.
Starts Friday, Lowe's State 1, Lowe's Orpheum, Reed's 34th Street East, and a theater near you.
Faye Dunaway, The Eyes of Laura Mars, a TV premiere tomorrow at 9.
Good evening, I'm Sue Simmons.
And I'm Chuck Scarborough. It is day 9 of the Persian Gulf War, and the American presence in that region is growing. At this moment, sophisticated U.S. Air Force surveillance planes are on their way to Saudi Arabia. The first of 4 of the big planes was photographed leaving Tinker Air Force Base, Oklahoma today. These airborne warning and control planes carry out high-altitude surveillance and can see for 250 miles at low altitudes, pinpointing the smallest targets. The planes are also equipped to coordinate U.S. airstrikes. The Defense Department, however, says those planes are there strictly to help the Saudis.
We are committed to as rapid a termination as possible of the conflict between Iran and Iraq. These aircraft are being deployed consistent with these peaceful objectives.
Well, peaceful objectives were far from the minds of the Iraqis and the Iranians today. Iraq closed in on the capital of the predominantly Arab Khuzestan province and tightened its siege on the oil city of Abadan. But Iran put on a surprising show of strength with its deadliest air attack yet on the capital of Iraq. Iranian warplanes hit fuel storage tanks, scored direct hits, as a matter of fact, on the outskirts of Baghdad, and bombed a nuclear power plant. No radiation leakage is reported.
The United States did its bit today at the UN to end the war when Secretary of State Edmund Muskie met privately with the Iraqi foreign minister. It was the first high-level meeting between our two countries since Iraq broke relations with us after the Israeli six-day war. News 4's Gabe Pressman caught both men outside today to find out what went on in that meeting.
It was a frank, objective kind of analysis and discussion. Whether it's useful in the long run in bringing the parties to a termination of hostilities and negotiations remains to be seen.
Talks were useful. I had a chance to express to the Secretary of State that the best way the United States, the best thing that the United States can do in order to ease up the situation is not to interfere in the conflict in any way.
Well, tomorrow there are no plans for a Security Council meeting at the United Nations. Ronald Reagan was hot on the campaign trail tonight. He was the star of a gala here in New York, seen on closed-circuit television tonight across the country. News 4's Gay Pressman reports while Reagan was the star, he had to share top billing.
Sinatra serenaded Ronald Reagan in the packed grand ballroom of the Waldorf Astoria tonight. The guests had paid $1,000 a plate, and nearly $2 million was raised in New York alone, $6 million in all in 19 similar dinners across the country, a blend of show business and politics suited to the background and personality of the Republican candidate. It was billed as a victory dinner 35 days ahead of the election itself, and the partisan crowds from coast to coast seemed to be sensing victory, although the strategists, the party leaders, concede at this point it's still very close. In Oklahoma City, former President Jerry Ford made a rough speech about Jimmy Carter. In New York, Reagan hit the president hard too.
When you look at the promises of Jimmy Carter in 1976, he misled us, he deceived us, and he ought to be defeated on November 4th.
Now, why are they playing so fast and loose with the nation's finances? The answer is clear. President Carter and his allies know they can't balance the budget, and they want to hide the truth from the American people. They're putting campaign above country. Well, they can run, but they can't hide.
From here on in, some of Reagan's key advisors told us tonight the emphasis of this candidate will be on the nation's economy and Jimmy Carter's alleged mishandling of it. As they perceive it, this is the overwhelming preoccupation of the American people. This is Gabe Pressman, News 4, New York.
Meanwhile, the League of Women Voters has formally abandoned plans for a one-on-one debate between Ronald Reagan and President Carter. That debate was supposed to take place October 13th in Portland. The president accepted the invitation, but Reagan turned it down.
Theoretically, the federal government of the United States could cease to function in less than 1 hour. A new fiscal year starts at midnight tonight, and Congress has failed to approve new spending bills to keep the vast federal bureaucracies running. So tonight, a House-Senate Conference Committee was hammering together an emergency stopgap bill to fund the government, but then a big fight broke out over the federal funding of abortions, and the committee recessed indefinitely. So as of now, the government will be broke tomorrow. There is some good news, however, for New Yorkers if the committee eventually gets its act together, and presumably it will. As part of the emergency funding package, New York City would be allowed to draw on $900 million of federal loan guarantees during the next 2 fiscal years. Sue?
Well, the president made a big mistake when he asked his brother Billy to ask for Libya's help in releasing the hostages. This is according to a report leaked from the Senate committee investigating Billy Carter's ties to Libya. Billy Carter, seen here testifying in front of that committee last September, is cleared of criminal charges in the leaked report, but the president is criticized for boosting his brother's credibility to the Libyans by having him help. Billy Carter in America's Georgia Today has his own opinion.
It's a political year, and I think they thought they could make political hay. You got to realize that